In this video, I'm going to break down anxiety as an ex-professional athlete, psychologically and spiritually, so that you can understand it and you can start to use some tools that I will share with you to help you overcome it. Let's just say you're constantly on edge. Sometimes it feels like you can't breathe, or at least breathe deeply. And you constantly feel like something's wrong, even though everything looks fine. To an outside point of view, you got a good life, everything's fine. But on the inside, there's something really wrong. That's anxiety. And no, it's not just in your head, it's in your body. And the funny thing was, literally yesterday, I was sitting down with a friend of mine who's actually in medical school, and she was saying how anxiety is the worry about the future, and depression is the suppression of the past. So if you just lost your career recently, or maybe a couple of years ago, but you're still feeling very anxious, most of the anxiety that you're feeling is the worry about the future. You don't know who you are right now, so you worry about what that's going to create in the future for you, or you're worried about what your purpose should be and finding true meaning, and you still can't find that, so you worry that you'll never find that in the future. For example, a lot of the anxiety is actually about the future, not the past. And if you are struggling with memories of the past, that's probably depressive symptoms. Anyway, let's break down anxiety as an ex-professional athlete, psychologically and spiritually. Anxiety is really your nervous system stuck in fight or flight, okay? You might have heard that fight or flight phrase before. And here's the truth, you don't need to think your way out. Anxious people often overthink all the time. You don't need to think your way out. Thinking isn't gonna help you find your way out. Instead, you need to regulate your nervous system, and through the regulation, that is the way that you will come out of the anxiety. There's a lot of somatic practices which basically help a part of your nervous system called your somatic nervous system learn to regulate. A few ones that are very common are box breathing. I actually learned this at the Australian Ballet School in my first or second year. I didn't realize it was called somatic breath work, but basically it's box breathing. So you breathe in for 4, 3, 4, you hold for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you exhale for 4, 4, and then you hold for 4. So whenever I felt anxious, I had this inbuilt tool to do box breathing, which helps regulate your nervous system through the somatic breath work through your somatic nervous system. It's actually a very beneficial tool, and it's so simple. You just think of a box and breathing 4 by 4, and it's something that is so easy to remember. Tapping is really effective as well. Tapping EFT, if you're into psychological definitions. You can tap on your chest, on your collarbone, or on your face. I like tapping on my forehead, chest and collarbone. And I'll do the same thing just because it makes it easy. Like I'll tap 4, 4, 4. And because you're concentrated on the tapping and the numbers of tapping, it can help you stop overthinking. And a lot of the overthinking stimulates the anxiety or heightens the anxiety, okay? It's called tapping EFT. Another one is progressive muscle relaxation to release tension. Through acupuncture, for example, relaxation massages, all those kinds of things, some sort of muscle relaxation, because your anxiety, you literally hold on to your anxiety not only in your mind or your heart or your nervous system, but also in your muscles, okay? A lot of anxious people hold up their shoulders towards their ears, and they have a lot of tension in their neck or head. Or they constantly feel tightness in their chest. Remember, your nervous system is also attached to your muscles, okay? Like, for me to pick up this glass, that actually required a neurological pathway from my head into my body to pick up the glass, okay? And so that is how anxiety is literally stored in your body. It's not just some spiritual phenomenon. It's a literal thing. Okay, so when you learn to release the tension through stretching, trigger balling, massaging, anything, acupuncture, I also like infrared saunas because it does kind of help my foot for about 30 minutes, but still, you know, they're really effective tools because anxiety is stored in your body scientifically. 2 is to label the fear. Anxiety is out of fear, okay? As I said in the beginning, fear about what you're going to do in the future, who you're going to be in the future, etc. Okay, so learning to label the fear can really help because it creates the awareness, and simple awareness of so many things. It's not going to heal you entirely, okay, but it's going to initiate the healing. You've got to become aware of these things, which is why I talk about all these different things on YouTube, because the awareness really helps people. And thank you so much to everyone's, you know, really lovely comments. I genuinely appreciate it. Like, I know what I put out helps, but it's really nice to hear it back from you. So I appreciate it. Thank you. A question you can ask yourself is, what is the actual fear under the feeling? Obviously the feeling is of anxiety, but what is the actual fear? What is making you feel that way? What fear? Is it the fear about what to do in the future? Is it the fear of still not knowing who you are and you're really worried that, you know, you won't find who you truly are? Is it the fear of how to make money? Is it the fear that, you know, you're still injured and you're really fearful that it's never gonna come back to life, or you're gonna rehabilitate properly? Is it the fear of going through another surgery and you're scared that the surgery won't work? What exactly is the fear that is stimulating the feeling, okay? Just a simple awareness can really help. I really encourage you to do that, because naming gives it shape. And when you name things, it gives you power over it because you understand what it is. It's like, for example, my phone here. Let's just say I was scared of my phone, which is a stupid example, but let's just say I was scared of my phone. If I'm scared of my phone, but I can't see it, it will put me in even more fear. Or like if I'm scared of a person, but I can't see the person, it's like, oh my God, where's the person? It's very, very, very scary, right? Whereas if you can see, scared of my phone, my goodness. Maybe I'm scared of AI, but no, in all seriousness, if I was scared of my phone, but at least I can see my phone, then it gives you power over it. Or if you're scared of a person, right? And you see that person, then it gives you power over it, or an element of power, because you see it, okay? And it helps you have that sense of control or power. Number 3 is to create safety routines. And what I mean by safety is creating safe routines in terms of regulating your anxiety and regulating your nervous system. Because when you regulate your nervous system, you feel safe. Anxiety is out of fear, a fear of probably multiple things, but you don't feel safe, obviously, in the anxiety. No one loves living with anxiety, okay? I've never met anyone who likes living with anxiety, ever, okay? And that's why so many people go on anxiety medications. But simple things like creating a safe routine that you know the elements of that routine help regulate your anxiety, that makes you feel safer. When you feel less anxiety, you feel safer in your own body and in your own mind. For example, you could have like a grounding morning routine where you have like a herbal tea and you go in the ocean, or you simply get some sun and you put your feet on the earth or your feet in the sand. Like a grounding morning ritual can really help, okay? Any sort of grounding ritual that helps. Maybe it's yoga in the morning, something that grounds you, because also the way you start your day is most of the time the way you feel throughout your day, okay? And when you're an anxious person or you feel a lot of anxiety, people or things that can happen throughout day-to-day life can stimulate more anxiety. Whereas if you've started your day in a grounding way, chances are you're going to react to that in a better way that is not going to overstimulate your anxiety as much, okay? And understand that this structure of like a safe morning routine for your anxiety, the very structure of it, it creates safety for the brain. And lastly is cognitive restructuring. Basically, the beliefs that you have that cause the anxiety, restructuring them. For example, just because I feel unsafe, it doesn't mean that I am unsafe. Or this discomfort doesn't actually mean danger. My camera is going to die, okay? But let's get through as much as we can, and then I can recharge it and we can pick up from where we left off. Some spiritual tools for anxiety. Remember, spirituality in any way, shape or form that you do it or believe in whatever spiritual form, anxiety is often a sign that your soul is disconnected from presence, okay? And it's either stuck in the past, yes, but most likely it is terrified of the future. One is the presence over projection. You want to come back to this breath, this moment, okay? And the soul, you got to understand, the soul speaks now. Anxiety screams out then or next. Two is the faith of the unknown. So you want to replace the need to control with a much deeper trust. I don't need all the answers to take the next step. You don't need all the answers to take the next step. As an athlete, did you have all the answers to take the next step, or did you just do it? Anything I've ever done, I didn't have all of the answers, I just did it. As you can probably assume, my camera died, but let's get right back to it. I believe I was talking about having faith in the unknown. The thing to understand here is that the future is always unknown anyway. We cannot truly predict our future. So in a way, it's self-sabotage if you are constantly worrying about the unknown of the future when the future is always unknown anyway. So coming to that understanding can really help. Essentially, you want to replace the feeling of unknownness with trust, okay? And with faith. And the more you become aware of your higher self and your true self, and you heal and you shed off that athletic identity, the more you will trust in the future, the more faith you will have in your purpose and the path ahead of you, even when it is unknown, because the future, again, is always unknown. You don't need all of the answers to take the next step, as I said before. Thirdly is having a spiritual connection. Now, do this in any way, shape or form that works with you and is most relevant to you. There's no pressure here or judgment either. For some, it might be prayer. For some, it might be meditation. Or for some, it might just simply be asking, what does my soul need today? The answer, quite truly, will usually be simple. If the answer is gentle and kind towards yourself, then that's the truth. And the last one, which is very, very freeing, and in the sense it's very freeing, it really does get rid of the anxiety once you truly learn how to surrender, and understanding firstly that surrendering to the unknown, surrendering to the uncertainty, that of which your future will always be anyway, surrender as strength. Surrender does take strength. You see, surrender does not mean giving up, okay? And if you think surrender means giving up, then chances are you haven't surrendered, okay? Which is getting in your own way. Surrender means letting go of the illusion that you have to do it all alone. To let go of the performance mask. As an athlete, even if you were part of a team and you had coaches, at the end of the day, you were your athlete, right? Like, no one else could have done it for you. Everyone else can guide you, give you the best coaching in the world. You could have the best teammates and support team as an athlete, but you were the only one who got yourself to the very level that you performed at, And so sometimes you come to the idea of, okay, now there's another battle ahead. Obviously it's spiritual and it's a healing, and it's a very different form of like a battle, right? And you have this goal of, I want to feel free and know myself and not feel all of the anxiety. Like, that's your goal. And because previously you did it alone, you think you have to do it alone, but that is not the case. That is just a story that you told to yourself and that you accepted, but you also experienced and lived, okay? So I do understand where it comes from, but understand that you don't have to go about for example, getting rid of the anxiety alone. And to come home to peace as well. I don't mean like your physical home. I mean to realize that your home is inside of you. There is peace that can be found inside of you, and home feels like peace. That's what a home is meant to be, okay? Even if your perspective growing up, and let's just say like you had a chaotic childhood or your home wasn't stable or secure, that doesn't mean that that's what the story has to be for the rest of your life, okay? And you do have your own home inside of you anyway. You have peace that can be found inside of you. A home that is peaceful, that has no anxiousness, okay? That is already within you. Yeah. So surrender to the strength of uncertainty, surrender to the unknown. It will be very, very freeing for you. And just remember, anxiety is not a flaw. It's feedback. It's your system literally asking for safety. But know that you already have, just as I was saying, you already have the safety within you. You already have the home within you. You already have the peace within you. You already have the ability to get rid of the anxiety. You have all of these capabilities within you. And it's really just about tapping inwards rather than always being, focused on the external, that of which would have been an inbuilt system from being an athlete. Surrender means letting go of the illusion that you have to do it all alone. You let go of the performance mask. As an athlete, even if you were part of a team and you had coaches, at the end of the day, you were your athlete, right? Like no one else could have done it for you. Everyone else can guide you, give you the best coaching in the world. You could have the best teammates and support team as an athlete, but you were the only one who got yourself to the very level that you performed at, And so sometimes you come to the idea of, okay, now there's another battle ahead. Obviously it's spiritual and it's a healing, and it's a very different form of like a battle, right? And you have this goal of, I want to feel free and know myself and not feel all of the anxiety. Like that's your goal. And because previously you did it alone, you think you have to do it alone, but that is not the case. That is just a story that you told to yourself and that you accepted, but you also experienced and lived, okay? So I do understand where it comes from, but understand that you don't have to go about, for example, getting rid of the anxiety alone. To finish off here, one of the things I keep coming back to is meditation, mindfulness, and learning to be present, aware of your thoughts, change your belief systems, all of that kind of stuff, okay? And to be very frank with you, meditation, I know it's a bold statement to make, but it did change my life in many ways. And it did help me heal in many ways. It wasn't the one and only thing, but it did help me heal in many ways. It did change my life in many ways. There were other things that I did as well, don't get me wrong, but it is an extremely beneficial tool. Now, I already have some meditations on my guided meditations playlist on this YouTube channel. There is one for overthinking, which has gotten an incredible response. And most likely, if you're an anxious person or you suffer with a lot of anxiety after athletic retirement, you are also overthinking a lot. So if you find yourself in overthinking mode, that will be of service to you, no doubt whatsoever. There is another meditation as well already that is for anxiety relief specifically, so to do with anxiety. But thirdly, I have also recently created a meditation specifically designed to get rid of the anxiety as an ex-professional athlete. So the one about anxiety on my meditations playlist, it still will be beneficial to you, but it doesn't have any sort of athletic tie or ex-professional athletic tie. Okay, so it's done in a slightly different format, the one I've recently created, and it's specifically for those who have retired as athletes and are suffering with a lot of anxiety post-retirement. So if you would like your hands on that one, it is completely free. All you have to do is click on the link below and make sure you put in your correct email address, and also make sure you click submit. Some people, they get back to me and like, I didn't get in my email, and I'm like, I never got your thing. So you have to make sure you click submit. But once you've done so, the meditation will arrive in your inbox very shortly, and you can also listen to that specific meditation designed specifically, for you. If you're suffering with anxiety, most likely you are as an ex-professional athlete because you're watching this video. You can listen to it as many times as you like as well. So it's never gonna switch off or anything like that. You have lifetime access to it. And the constant practice of meditation and the constant practice of that specific meditation, if you do suffer with anxiety as an ex-professional athlete, the more you do it, the better you get at it, and therefore the more positive effect and healing it will succumb to you, okay? So do keep that in mind. Like, doing it once is fine, but the more you do it, the more it will help, and the less and less and less anxiety you will feel. It's just like any kind of skill, as an athlete, the more you did it, the better you got at it, right? So it's the same kind of idea. So if you do want that one, click on the link below. Make sure you put your right email address in, and you do click submit. That's it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you did like this video, drop a like so I know. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, you don't have to, but I encourage you to do so if you found this video helpful, because there's a lot of other videos out already. With that being said, there's always new videos coming out anyway, as you would already know if you've watched quite a few of my videos. I feel like I'm talking like a robot. So. All the best with your healing journey. And, I want to say right now, well done for clicking on the video. Even sometimes creating an awareness can be difficult. Okay, feeling like, oh, you know what? Maybe I've been in denial of the anxiety I've been living in. Maybe I've been in denial of the depressive symptoms I've been living in. Maybe I'm in denial of the pain that I'm really in, okay? Because again, that's a wired network that you have as an athlete anyway, to suppress emotions, okay? So it's really common for ex-professional athletes to have these suppressed emotions. So even clicking on the video or creating the awareness, which is all at your hands, you're the one who clicked on the video, okay? Or watched other videos of mine, you're the one who did that, okay? So I do want to congratulate you and acknowledge the courage that it takes to do that, especially as a ex-professional athlete who did suppress emotions. No doubt. That's what you had to do, okay? That suppress the nervous system. That's what you had to do. That's what you were trained to do. But then, it does become your prison post, after retirement. Things that served you a lot as an athlete, they no longer serve you, and they actually do the opposite, and they pretty much attack you. So well done on taking the courage, and know that you're deserving to initiate your healing journey, and just be courageous in it, okay? The courage that you had as an athlete, remind yourself, okay, I had the courage then, so you still have the courage within you to be a successful athlete. Whether you were pro or not, you were obviously successful to some degree. The courage that you had to be an athlete, it didn't go away, okay? Just because you stopped being an athlete, it doesn't mean your courageousness or your bravery went away. It's something that you had inside of you. And it's also why other athletes that you knew of didn't really make it to the level that you made it in. You would know there's a lot of mental battles that you have to face as an athlete, physical battles that you have to face as an athlete, and some people don't have the courage or bravery to go through them. So you still have that. And I encourage you to take that courage and to take that bravery with you, because that is one thing that you do have as an athlete that is still serving you, and you should use it to your own benefit to, for example, take the action to reduce the anxiety and get rid of the anxiety that isn't serving you anyway. Okay? And one way you can do that is by popping your email address in the link below and making sure you click submit as well. That's it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.